Hello,
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, 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 good.
I was not here on Monday, but I am here
Actually,
today.
this is the first class session. All I did on Monday was send out an email with instructions on how to access the course portal. So yeah, this is our first class session.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's just give you, well, actually, it's not yet 5 for us. Let's give your classmates a few more minutes before we can get started. So once more, welcome to today's class session. Again, welcome to the 2022-23 fall semester. This is Computer Literacy COSC 1330, Section 3. As I indicated in the email I sent out on Monday, you were required to log onto the course portal at least once every day, just to kind of ensure that you're on track with what's expected of you. Most, if not all of the resources, well, let me say most of the resources you need for this class are found within the course portal, are found within the TC web portal, which is this right here. Within this page, there are 3 sections. There's the left pane, the middle pane, and then the right pane. Within the middle pane or the middle section, you get to have the course description and a video which kind of walks you through the process of navigating this entire portal. And so, as I indicated in the email I sent out on Monday, you want to make sure that you watch this video lesson. It will kind of show you, guide you on how to make the most of the resources available within this space. Now, at the beginning of every week, I will be sending out an email as to what an email which will state what is ahead of us for that's the unit or topic we're covering and the expectations for that week. And so for this week, we are in Unit 1, Digital Literacy. Now, going back to the resources on the right-hand side, which is this right here, we have data files. So if you're completing any assignment, you may be referred to this area to download a data file. And then beneath the data files, we have the PowerPoint section. This is here you get to find all the PowerPoints for all of the 10 units or 10 chapters or 10 modules in this section. And then beneath the PowerPoint section is the bookmark section. This is the area where you get to find the video lessons and web content. So anything which is which can only be accessed anything which is found on the internet. So it could be content which you may be required to read online or a video lesson that is found under the bookmark section. Okay, and so once you read the introductory section to a unit, you always get the text which that's after the objectives. Like it says, to successfully complete this unit, is recommended that you go over the Unit 1 PowerPoint found on the handout and watch the Unit 1 video lessons or videos found under bookmarks. So what that implies is that at this point you move on to the right side of the course homepage, go to the PowerPoint section, and go through the Unit 1 PowerPoint, which is this right here. I'll be using that this afternoon in today's session. And then, of course, you want to scroll down and look for the Unit 1 videos. Even though there are about, let me see, 18 or so, this not about 10. They are all very short, not that long. And so what I would suggest is during your personal study time or during your prep time, you want to go over the video lessons and the web content, preferably before class. And if there are any questions, write those down and bring them to class, or you can email those to me. If we can meet during class time, you need additional time. We need to maybe work together out of class time. We can always set up an appointment and work one-on-one. Okay, for those who are just joining us, welcome to today's class session. I was just kind of going over, giving an overview of the class, letting your classmates know where the resources are found. Now, most, if not all of what I said is found in this video lesson, okay? So please, during your study time, you want to go back and watch this video lesson. And then today's session is also being recorded, and I will provide the link to, I'll email the link to the entire class, hopefully, well, tomorrow morning at the latest. That said, any questions for me this far?
No.
Okay, so for this week, again, it's Unit 1, Digital Literacy. In addition to going over the resources, that's the video lesson, the PowerPoint, you expected to complete discussion 1A, discussion 1B, quiz 1, assignment 1, and test 1. The assignments, that's the discussions, the quizzes, assignments, and tests are all found under coursework. You can click on this link to go to coursework, or if you prefer, click on this link right here. Okay, let me get into student view. So if I wanted to complete, if I had revised the lessons and I'm ready to complete the quizzes or the assignments, I would come right here, coursework, and oh, I almost forgot, pre-test. Please, the very first you want to do is complete the pre-test. You're not required to study any material. You're not required to prepare for the pre-test. It's more like it enables us to know where we are at this point in time. And then at the end of the semester, we're going to take the same test, but it will be called post-test. And what that will do is it will kind of let us know if we learned anything during the semester. So this is more for assessments. It's not going to impact your final grade. And so please, before doing anything, you want to complete the pre-test first. Actually, you shouldn't have come to this class without having completed the pre-test, because we're going to discuss stuff here which may impact your performance in the pre-test, or positively impact it. Again, the pre-test is for assessment purposes, to see where we are as opposed to where we should be by the end of the semester. And so please, if you've not yet taken the pre-test, you want to do that after this class session. You don't want to wait until after you've learned a whole lot, because we want to find out where we are at this point in time, and again, find out where we should be or where we would be at the end of the semester. That would kind of let us know if we learned new stuff, if we acquired new skills. So please, pre-test first, and then of course, discussion 1A. You're just kind of introducing yourself to your classmates, and then discussion 1B. Now, in the email I sent out on Monday, I provided, I think, 2 links with video lessons in which I kind of show you guys how to complete the quizzes and the assignments. For the discussions, you simply click on the link. So if I were to respond to this discussion, click on that link, and then so it says to write a post or reply for this assignment, visit discussion 1A topic. So you click on that, and then you would come here. What is it? Add a post. Click on add a post. Yeah, last time it didn't work for me, I think, because I'm an instructor. But once you click on add a post, a window should pop up prompting you to type your responses to this question. And then so once you submit the post, you should be able to see what your classmates have posted, and then reply to any of those posts. Okay. Now let's return to the course homepage, and I would have to get back to the teacher view. Okay. And so for today, Unit 1, digital literacy. I'm using this PowerPoint, which of course is found within the which is found in the Unit 1 PowerPoint section. Okay, so I've got this PowerPoint from here. Let me make sure that you guys. So if you come over here, PowerPoints, you click on this link, you download the PowerPoint I'm using right now, just in case you want to get back to it later on. So let's get started with the lesson. So by the time we're done with this unit, you should be able to differentiate among laptops, tablets, servers, or different types of computing devices. You also should be able to describe the purpose and uses of our smartphones, describe the relationship between data and information. Also, we're going to talk about the difference between data and information. We should be able to briefly explain various input options, differentiate the internet from the web, explain the purpose of a web browser, search engine, and an online social network. Also should be able to briefly describe digital security risks associated with viruses, differentiate between an operating system and an application software, differentiate between wired and wireless technologies, discuss how the society, that's you and myself, make use of technology in education, retail, finance, identify technology used by home users, like you and myself, small office, home office, power users, enterprise users. Okay. And so we are in an age of technology, and technology is constantly evolving. Okay. For most of you, I'm sure you change your phones almost every year, because at the beginning of the phone companies or technology firms come up with new phones every year, and for some reason, some of us are trying to catch up with those companies. And so, because technology changes, because technology is constantly evolving, there's the need to take measures to ensure that as users of technology, we are current in as far as we are up to date in as far as the current technologies are concerned. And so the whole concept or matter of being current with technology is referred to as digital literacy. Okay. And so digital literacy involves having a current knowledge and understanding of computers, mobile devices, the internet, and related technologies. Now, maybe I should have asked you guys, actually, let me go ahead and ask. So when you hear of the word technology, okay, Cardi, I got you. When you hear of the word technology, what comes to your mind? So we did say that we are in an age and world of technology. So when you hear of technology, what comes to your mind?
Why ain't got the charger thing in here? I closed it up. Close it
Was that the response to my question?
Yeah.
Mr. Marshall.
This ain't right down here. I closed it up real quick.
Are you guys with me?
Can you repeat
Yes,
that?
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm with
you. Yeah, the question is this: when you hear of the word technology, what comes to your mind? If someone were to ask you to explain or define the word technology, what would you say?
Something like digital related to something like that, like computer system.
Okay.
I would think of like software, computers, and stuff like that. CPUs, like all the little terms.
Sounds like you've been working with computers a whole lot. Yeah. So all of what you guys said factors into technology, but in very simple terms, technology is the application or use of scientific knowledge to either come up with tools, which of course enable us to do things in ways which are a lot more easier. Okay, and so one of the tools which is commonly used in as far as technology is concerned is a computer. Now, you guys would hear me referring to the term computing device because nowadays, when you talk of a computer, it's not just restricted to a laptop or a desktop. Mobile devices such as smartphones, tablets, all of those are also referred to as computers. And so that's how we get to talk of a computing device. And as I did say at the beginning, almost every year we have new gadgets coming up or newer versions of the same gadgets with newer features or additional features. And in order to ensure that we are current, we want to be able to learn a bit about those new features. And so that keeps us current. That ensures that we are digitally literate. So what that presupposes is that anybody who does not have a current knowledge and understanding of computing devices is digitally illiterate. Any questions for me this far?
No, sir.
So we did say that one of the devices used mainly or a whole lot when it comes to technologies is a computer. And the question is, what is a computer? In very simple terms, a computer is first and foremost an electronic device which operates or works or functions under the control of instructions stored in its own memory. What that implies is that without instructions stored in the memory of a computer, your computer cannot do anything. So if you are to design a computer, you have to provide the computer with instructions. You have to store the instructions which will dictate to your computer how it should function, how it should work, and you have to store those instructions within the memory. And as a result of its ability to, by it I mean a computer, as a result of the ability of a computer to operate or function or work based on the control of instructions stored in its own memory, a computer can accept data, and after it has accepted the data, it will process or transform the data into some output or result, which is commonly referred to as information. So what that tells us is that one of the main tasks or one of the main jobs performed by computers is that of processing or transforming data into information. That leads us to what is known as the 4 basic operations of a computer. Input, which is right here. And during the input stage, we have data which is provided to the computer. And then there's the process or processing, and then the output. Of course, we don't see the 4th operation here. And that is the 4th operation is storage. And that's because storage is somewhat optional. Once you've used your computer or computing device to process data and you obtain information, you can make use of the information which is displayed on your screen, or you could prefer or opt to save or store that information for future use or future reference. And so that's how we have storage as the 4th basic operation of a computer. Input, process, output. Okay. Any questions? Any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. What is the difference between data and information? Did you guys get my question? Hello? Let me see. Are you guys, maybe I'm going to have my mandating that you guys turn on your cameras because I'm not sure you guys are. What's the difference between data and information?
Data is like something that you would give in, and information is like what you expect to like possibly get out of it.
Smart answer, huh? You kind of just rephrase this and gave it to me. Data is what you put in, and information is what you get out. Yes, you're right. You're right, but I was looking for something different. Yeah, again, you get to input data into your computing device, the data is processed and you obtain information. And so based on that process, we can safely say that data are building blocks of information. In other words, you need data in order to obtain information. Data could also be defined as raw facts of information. Another difference, well, one major difference between data and information is that data does not convey meaning. Data does not make sense. Information conveys meaning. Information makes sense. You and I are able to relate to information, okay? But we can hardly make sense out of data. So that's why there's the need to process or analyze or transform the data into information, which of course makes sense, which is meaningful, which you and I can relate to. Okay, when it comes to computers or computing devices, there are different types of computers out there. Laptop, tablet, desktop, server. So this is a picture of a laptop. It has an inbuilt keyboard with a screen. Your desktop has a standalone desktop, of course, which is designed to be placed either on or on the desk. And then there's an external screen or LCD. There's an external screen. For the most part, it's an LCD screen, and of course, an external keyboard, both of which are linked or connected to your desktop. Now, there's what is also referred to as all-in-one desktop. In other words, the processing, the unit, the system unit combined with the screen. So this is an all-in-one desktop. But again, we still see the keyboard, which is detached from it. And then we have a server. A server, again, is a computing device. So all we're saying is all of this here are different examples of computing devices. In other words, fundamentally speaking, they all function in the same way. The differences have to do with the form and shape and the processing speed and storage capability. Okay, for example, the server is a computing device with very high processing speed and very huge storage capability. It's used mainly for the purpose of providing resources or services to other computing devices. And of course, you have a tablet, which would, for the most part, have what is referred to as a soft keyboard, which is inbuilt within the tablet. Other types of computing devices are mobile devices, game devices, such as your smartphone, your digital camera, portable media player, ebook reader, game console. Do we have any amongst us who play games?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, is there any amongst us who play games, computer games?
Oh, no.
Or video games?
I just be on social media.
Okay, okay.
That's sad, I know.
So, excuse me, we talked about data and information a few minutes ago. We did say that data could be referred to as the building blocks or raw facts. And once the data is transformed or processed or analyzed by the computer, we get the output, which is information. And so this really simply depicts the process of going from data to information. This doesn't make much sense, but once it's processed, we now get a picture of these individuals' purchase, the number of items they bought, the total amount they were required to pay, the amount tendered or received, and the change. So we did say that each and every computing device performs 4 basic operations: input, process, output, and storage. In as far as the input stage is concerned, it has to do with the process of providing data onto your computing device or providing data to the computing device. And for that to happen, you and I, who are end users, so anybody who makes use of a computing device or who uses a computing device is referred to as an end user or simply a user. And so in order for a user to provide a computer with data, the user must use an input device, okay? So an input device is any device which enables an end user to input data into a computer. So what are some examples of input devices?
Cell phone.
What are some examples of input devices?
Oh, I thought you said, oh my God, I heard something. Let me just stop talking.
So did you guys get my question? What are some examples of input devices?
A keyboard. That's what I'm
Keyboard.
saying.
Yes, keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of use the keyboard.
Right here in my face, huh? I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I told you I'm not really tech savvy.
No, that's why we're in this class. That's why this class was designed to enable us to become tech savvy, okay? That's why we're in this class. We are learning. And then, so there's an input, there's a keyboard, there's a mouse. What else? If I had to input
that
sound,
iPad.
Well, for the iPad will be, the iPad has an inbuilt keyboard already, so it's like a soft keyboard.
You saying something you would have to like connect to the little CPU thing?
If I had to record a song onto a computer, what would I use to ensure that my sound or this voice gets to the computer?
Microphone.
Microphone, that's another example of an input device.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so those are different examples of input devices: keyboard, mouse, microphone. These are different versions of mouses. A scanner, that's another example of an input device, okay? So once the data has been processed, we have information, and that information is made available to us through another device, which is known as an output device. So an output device is any hardware component that conveys information from a computer or mobile device to one or more people. An example of an input device is a printer. Okay. What other examples of output devices do you guys know?
A scan? No, you already said a scanner. A fax machine.
Fax machine is more of a communication device because sometimes you would have a 3-in-1, which is photocopier.
Would a printer be one?
A printer, yes. Yeah, this is a printer. Yeah, a printer is an output device, yes. Okay, if I had to get sound from within a computer, what
speaker?
Loudspeaker, yes, that's another example of an output device, okay? So these are different examples. And now of course, your screen, LCD screen, like the screen on your smartphone, the screen on a camera, the screen on a tablet, LCD screen, and the screen on a laptop. These are all display devices. These are different examples of output devices. They visually convey text, graphics, and video to users like you and myself. Speakers allow you to hear audio such as music. Examples of other devices which play the same role as a speaker: earbuds, headphones. Okay. I'm not going to talk about memory. Well, your memory is simply the part of the computing device which processes the instruction, the set of instructions which are provided to the computing device. I'm going to skip this. So once the data has been transformed into information, you can make use of the information or access it through an output device, or if you choose to store or save it for future use, you can store it within in a storage device or storage medium. Okay. Examples of your storage devices are the hard disk drive, internal hard disk. And then you have portable storage media, such as the USB flash drive. So that's a hard disk. The solid state drive, USB flash drive, or portable storage media. Memory card for phones and cameras, optical disc, that will be for CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray. And then cloud storage, okay? So these are different types of storage media or medium. Any questions for me?
No.
Okay. I have a question for you guys. What is cloud storage?
Is that
Like
like,
where it keep
like
all
an
your
iPhone?
memory?
Let's do it one at a time. Jacoby, you go first.
But cloud storage, that's like, it comes along with like an iPhone, right?
Yes, it comes along with an offer, but what is it?
Basically where you can like upload your information.
Yeah, so when you have to access any storage medium over the internet, because when you talk of uploading, you get to upload it through the internet, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so whenever you have to access any storage medium over the internet, either through, say, your social media account or through your cloud account, that type of storage is known as cloud storage. So it's any storage which is accessed over the internet, okay? That's what it's referred to as cloud storage. It is not because it's in the cloud, no. It is simply storage medium which is accessed over the internet. What that implies is that if there's no internet connectivity, then you're not going to have access to your files or your documents or information which is stored in the cloud, because it requires internet connectivity. Any questions for me? Questions?
Okay.
Okay. Another feature of the technology is the internet, and the internet is simply a worldwide collection of networks that links or connects millions of businesses, government agencies, educational institutions, and individuals like you and myself. So whenever you turn on the data on your phone, your phone becomes part of the World Wide Web, part of the internet. Whenever you access the internet on your laptop or tablet or computing device, that computing device of yours becomes part of the worldwide collection of networks, which is the internet. And most of the information within the internet resides in what we refer to as websites or web pages. And the websites or web pages are stored or saved within servers, okay? And so a web page or a website is simply, well, a website consists of, the web is made up of a collection of electronic documents known as web pages, and a collection of web pages gives rise to a website. Now, there could be instances where you could have a one-page website. In other words, there's just one page on the website, but for the most part, when you have multiple web pages which are linked in a logical fashion, that gives rise to what is known as a web page. That said, a web page is simply a website is simply a collection of web pages. And a web page is an electronic medium of communication, okay? So a website is a collection of related web pages. The computer within which a website is hosted or stored or saved is known as a web server. And so a web server is a computer that delivers requested web pages to your computer computing device. So that's an example of a website. Now, in order for you to be able to gain access to a website, you need an application, you need a software, specifically an application software known as a web browser. And so a browser is a software that enables users with an internet connection to access and view web pages on a computer or mobile device. Examples would be your Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge. Okay. We are going to pick up from here next class because my Zoom link, well, the Zoom session is just 40 minutes long. We'll soon be kicked out. But please remember that you guys have a couple of assignments to do. So our next class will be on Monday. Friday, 5 p.m. I'll send out an email reminder on Monday morning. Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Why does it say 1 p.m.
Yeah,
and you say
yes,
5 p.m.?
the schedule says 1 p.m.